Shalom, y'all. Bashim Yal Shabakata, Yahweh Shamar Al Thum, Bashim Yal Shah. This precinct officer of 1000 Mathum Yah out of I.S.U.P.K, star of 1 West, 125th Street Hall, New York, under command of during YAHANNA. We've been teaching the truth about the Bible since 1969. You know what I mean? That blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are God's chosen people according to the Bible. You understand? And we're going to keep pushing that truth, you know what I'm saying, till it's all over. All right, soy el oficial Matomia de la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal, una organización que comenzó en la calle 125 Harlem, Nueva York, Nueva York, bajo el mando del General YAHANNA. Enseñamos que los negros, los hispanos y los nativos americanos son familia y son el pueblo del elegido de Dios, según la Biblia. All right. So now, you know what I mean? This the Brotherhood class. We come here every Tuesday at the UN Library. And I mean, we're going to be here for a minute tonight. All right. It's going to be a good one. We got many things to talk about. You know what I mean? I'd rather talk about how hypocritical the church is for a whole hour. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot to talk about. You know what I'm saying? With World War III and things of that nature. You understand what we need to do in the meantime. You understand, you know, the world is changing right before our eyes and the gas prices going up. You understand? We still seeing injustices throughout this earth, you know what I mean, specifically our community to this day. Understand? And in fact, I might want to talk about that now on how, you know what I mean, this place is so, you know what I mean, so built to have us, you know, destroyed and put on the bottom, right? You understand? In every aspect, in every way. One of the ways, right, you know what I'm saying, let's just go, you know, to trickle it down or just go down the list, right? So, you know, I mean, they got us oppressed, right? We in these slums and we in the ghetto, the hood, in the San Barrio, you name it. Native American brothers in the, you know, in the reservations, starving us out. They, you know, stealing all the resources, don't want to share any of the resources that they stole in the first place. And, you know what I'm saying? And that ain't the only thing. They got to set up stores and businesses in our neighborhoods. You understand that we got to be consumers to them and we can't have anything for our own. We was just out there in Washington, D.C. Shout out to Washington, D.C. Shout out to, you know what I mean, Captain Shock and all the new captains that's been raised up over there in Washington, D.C. You understand? Shout outs to all them captains, you know what I mean, that the new captains got raised up, if I can remember their names. All right, so yeah, Officer so like Cat Kazak Ahmad, you understand? Shout outs to him. Captain Yarash. I'm forgetting the last part. Yarash Amath, I think. Salaki. And Captain your your guard. Oh man, Salaki. I slipped it on his name, Salaki. But oh man, Salaki, sir. But yeah, you know what I mean, there was new captains raised up. You know what I mean? And this is what we do in the truth, where we build up men to be great, you understand, and do great things for the Lord here in this truth. You know what I'm saying? A warrior. So like a cap, a warrior. That just came to me. All right, yeah. Shout out to Captain Kazak Ahmad, Captain you know what I mean, Yerashamath, and Captain Hawarrior. Well deserved, you understand. Now we about to get into, you know what I mean, some of the things that you know, is going on with us, you know what I mean? We got all these stores in our neighborhoods, right? And we're consumers to all these nations, to these heathen, you know what I mean? The oppressors, obviously, right? And everybody else that comes in after that, that the oppressor let come over top of us, you understand, in a way where wherever we dwell at, they got businesses at. You understand? Wherever we dwell at, they got a restaurant. Wherever we dwell at, they got a whole town named after their nation. Talking about the Chinese, talking about the Asians. You understand? And just a few years back, I remember this like yesterday, 2021 or 2022, around that time, it was talking about Asian hate. Asian hate. You understand? Stop the Asian hate. They made a whole thing about it where you've seen it everywhere you go. You understand? But nobody's talking about how they are living good and not receiving any hate at all. What hate are they talking about? Stop the Asian hate. You understand? I don't get it. Because all I see is, your stores is in our neighborhoods. I see us going piling, your stores every day, getting fried fish from you, getting fried chicken from you. You understand? Getting all the, the food, whatever we get from you, that we could definitely damn sure do for ourselves. But we get it from you because, we're the slaves here, and the oppressors put more slave masters on us, outside of himself. You understand? And being so that we have more slave masters here, more oppressors here, you understand, in the Chinese, now we have to go through more unaliving, untimely unaliving of our people. We have to be we got to be the victims again and again and again, because these people are monsters on top of us. These people are, you understand, just predators over us, man. A brother got unalived in a Chinese store, and he didn't even do anything. He didn't even steal anything. There shouldn't even have been any suspicion of him even stealing anything. A brother got unalived. Chase, well, first he was afraid because he looking at these these stinking Chinese, you understand, these Chinese men looking at him, and he runs out the store trying to save his life, and he knows they chasing after him. They chasing him, and then they get him. They catch up to him, and then they unalive him. They shoot the brother. You understand? When this place right here is something wrong. There's something off about this place, because I see everybody else living good here. I see the Chinese living good here. I see the Japanese living good here. They doing good for themselves. They got Chinatown. They got everything they need. You understand? But we don't have anything, and we get unalive at the same time. You understand? And then we get told to not say anything about it. We get told to be quiet. We get told to stop speaking up for the injustice that happens in our neighborhoods. You understand? We get told to be quiet and not say anything, when we have all the right to say, to complain. We have all the right to say what's been happening to us. You understand? You know what I mean? The oppressor is just a devil the Bible speaks of, and he doesn't want us to face to make him face his evil ways, to make him face the wickedness that he's been doing to us. You understand? He can care less. He can care less. You understand? It's on video. Excuse me. It's on video of these devils unaliving us year after year after year and after year. You understand? And they still do it to this day. And they do not care about it, and they don't feel no remorse. They don't feel no remorse because that's just not in them to feel any remorse, except for when it's pertaining to themselves. You understand? I want to grab a precept, right? Y'all meet me there. Slug. Salaki, bear with me. All right. Get the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy. The scriptures say, never trust thine enemies. And the problem with us, what the problem with us is? The problem with us is that we don't think we have enemies. The problem with us is we think we have all friends amongst everybody that walks on the earth. You know what I mean? Because of Christianity. It's because of, Christian dogma, where we just 24/7 loving everybody. 24/7 just loving everybody, every little thing. The church turning you into a sodomite, and you know what I mean, and you don't have what it takes to be a strong man of God to lead this nation because of that right there. You know what I mean? What's gonna have to happen for this nation to come out the mud, out the dust, is that strong black men, Hispanic and Native American men, are going to have to stand up and not care about their own life and care about loving a brother more than themselves, care about helping a brother more than they care about helping themselves. You understand? Suffering for a brother, before they think about saving their lives, their own lives. And that's what we do here in the I.S.U.P.K. And, Slovakia. Let me get this. In the Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal, we don't take our lives as special. We don't look at it like that. We will give up our lives for another brother any day. You understand? Give the clothes of our back for a brother any day. You understand? Put our money up to feed brothers and sisters, with food, any day. And with food for the spirit any day. We do that weekly. You understand? This is what we do here in the I.S.U.P.K, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. And this is the opposite of what your fake Israelite camps do. Yeah, fake Israelite camps out there, they do the exact opposite. They don't want to feed. They don't let them purple cats tell it. They don't want to feed. They look at brothers and sisters out here as some type of nasty thing that they don't even want to touch because they afraid they about to get a disease from being around them. They look at us as being dirty. They look at us like the oppressor looks at us. You understand? Which is why we have to not go into these fake Israelite groups, and we got to stay, on the right path and come in the home of the truth, which is the I.S.U.P.K. I'm gonna read that again. It says, "Never trust thine enemy." We can never trust our enemies, man. Never trust our enemies, because you understand, when we do that, we become weak. When we do that, it's a guarantee we'll fall. And we did it already, and the proof is here now that this precept is correct and is very true. You know what I'm saying? And it happened, and this prophecy happened because we decided to trust in our enemies. We decided to trust in ideology that our oppressors made up, so we could be oppressed and suppressed under them. We decided to trust in a nation, you understand, that hates us greatly, you understand? We decided to do that. And now we have nothing. Now we're dying. Now we have no businesses. Now we're starving and dying here in the ghetto. And, that's just our life now. That's our life now. Because we decided to trust in our enemies. Brother, if we decided to not trust in our enemies, brother, if we decided to hate our enemies, you understand? Like how, Slovakia. Give me a second. Yeah, you can pull up a seat. Next one, man. Probably get over here. Since you over there, I'll go over here. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, let me get back. All right, Lord Christ, Lord of Christ. I'm here. I'm here with Priest and Officer 50, Kalatazar. Saying, yeah, so how I was saying was, we can't trust in our enemies out because we trust in our enemies now, and we seeing, we have no benefits, we have no businesses, we got nothing going on besides us going in a continuous death cycle. You understand? We don't have anything going on for us, man. Let me fix this more. We don't have nothing else going on but the constant unalive, the constant, death traps in the way, or women piling up in abortion clinics, unaliving our babies by the millions. We have nothing going on for ourselves except being oppressed by every other nation. Just talking about how this Moabite unalived the brother in the store, in the convenience store. They chased him down, right, and then gunned him down. They chased him and gunned him down.
As a kid growing up, and I'm sure you experienced
right.
Like just growing up, you hear stories about just events like that happening all the time.
Facts.
That ain't nothing new.
Right.
You know, like my brother, his dad got, unalive. Of course he was trying to rob the store, but he got unalive, but he was on the outside of the store. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's just like that is those events is always going on in our community, and it's the beauty of 2026. We got video cameras and everything to kind of broadcast it throughout the world quicker. You know what I mean? So that's a heavy point that you brought up. Like,
Fact. What you want to bring a precept up? Or you good?
yeah, I could bring a precept about.
Yeah, man. Let me know when you get it. Because, like, this is what happens. This is what happens. Like, this is what the reward is for loving your enemies. When we love our enemies, now we leave the gate open for everybody to come in and destroy us. You know what I'm saying? That's go down to Jeremiah 14:2 as well, where our gates have language. Our gates have language, you understand, because we have weak leaders. We have weak leaders that decide to, love our enemies instead of, doing the responsible thing, the thing that the Lord requires of men of the Lord or leaders of this nation to do is to be gatekeepers and, whistleblowers for to alarm brothers and sisters when we have enemies near, when we have people that's trying to harm us near us. Understand? Go ahead. You want to bring a precept up?
Yeah, just basically just covering everything you're saying. Like it's very unwise of us to put our trust into our enemies. So,
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you could probably cancel it out. But like, yeah, it's very unwise to love your enemies. Because, we see how they do us. Our blood flow in the streets of America to this day. You understand? Go ahead.
So yeah, it's a precept in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 17. It says, "For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love." Verse 18. And love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. So basically everything you're saying right now is showing how incorrupted our people are without this wisdom in these scriptures. The Lord's wisdom is what makes us a governed nation. And us, we keep on seeking some order. We keep on seeking a savior. We go to these other nations and we trust in our enemies. And when you read through these scriptures and you get that wisdom that we're not supposed to be trusting in our oppressors, we're not supposed to be trusting our enemies. You understand? Like, get what you can in this kingdom. Get them loans if you could, get the credit if you could, get the jobs if you could, but be at the feast days, be at the high holy days. Don't do what the world do. And it says you got to desire discipline right here. It says for the very true beginning of her, talking about that wisdom. If you want to receive wisdom, which is that true knowledge of who you are, your identity, and getting the experience of being in this truth, you got to desire discipline. And that's why the I.S.U.P.K is a strong school to stay in, because it pushes discipline. People that can't handle that discipline, they leave. They drop their sword. You understand? Because they don't call on Mathumyad or myself when they going through them temptations. They get mad and they go ahead and commit a sin. And, they get stuck in that sin. You understand what I'm saying? So it says, for the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love. When you read in these scriptures, you learn that love is walking in the commandments of God. So Mathumyad making sure I'm in the right path, that's showing brotherhood love. You understand what I'm saying? Us making sure that our wives is on the right path, that's showing love as a husband to the wives, and it's vice versa. Keeping these laws, these moral laws in this Bible is the discipline in desiring of love and all that stuff like that. You understand? And then it says, and love is keeping her laws, and that's what we teaching you to do. Keep the laws of the Lord. You understand? Desire that discipline and keep the laws of the Lord. Come into the school and learn, get the knowledge, and experience how it is being amongst brothers like Yad and under command of Jenny YAHANNA's, authority. You understand? That's all I had to say.
Yeah, damn right. Yeah, damn right. Because without that, what you got? In the world, what you got? You know what I mean? A bunch of bullet holes. You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of, unfortunate situations happening with us, man. I mean, I see a lot of brothers. I know you probably experienced this yourself too, where you see, brothers you grew up with or seen brothers that was like younger and you watch them grow up.
Yeah.
And it's like you see how like the path they going down, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, damn, brother.
And I see a lot of the young brothers that, like they was young. That's how I know I'm getting older too. But they was young. And, I come back around and being in the truth for a few years, I come back around. They older now, getting out of prison. And I'm like, dang. And now everybody want to be a rapper. So, yeah, he'd be spitting good, but like, bro, like, we ain't nothing without the Lord. You understand? Like, you can get that money, you can get them riches from putting them words on, a beat. But understand that we could be millionaires all we want, but we are nothing without the Lord. You understand? We can't get through that kingdom just relying on our riches. Our riches don't come with us. You understand? Being in this truth right now, you building your riches for the kingdom. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a heavy thing. That's why we destroyed as a people. You understand? Like, we destroyed as a people, and we're relying on, our oppressors to learn about our people, like learn about our history. Mathumya, I've been teaching these classes every Tuesday. This is where you're gonna learn your history. This is where you're gonna learn who you are. This is where you're gonna learn your identity. And us being black people, we destroy without it. You know what I'm saying? We getting killed by our oppressors and traffic stops, whether we in the store or whatever. They have no respect on us because we don't know who we are. That's what I'm laying on that.
Yeah, damn right. Damn right. I'm gonna finish this precept says for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Like you could love this man all you want. You could love these devils all you want. You understand? He gonna smile in your face for a little minute, like he do all day long at your job, at your slavery. You understand? He gonna smile in your face. You understand? But he's gonna turn to his actual true colors. You understand? He's gonna show his true colors after a while. You know what I mean? Like them as a nation right now are showing their true colors. Right. They've been like when Obama was in office, they was trying to play like, all right, they with it, you know what I mean? They cool and all that. You know what I'm saying? But once he come out of office, they like, man, y'all had this dark face motherfucker coming in for the language, but y'all had him in here, and then they gonna show their true colors. Now they elected Donald Trump. You understand? Now they got they had with the Joe Biden thing, but they got him back in the office for a second term, Donald Trump. You understand? They got him back in there, and now look at him. Now they regretting everything. Now they find out they elected somebody that eat babies. You understand? They find out he a major, you know what I mean, child savior.
What's evil about this kingdom is how the rich, they know where the money is going. You understand? Right. They not letting the poor people in this kingdom know. Trump is he's designing everything so that the ones who know where the money is going can still continue to get rich. You understand? So the rich people, they don't care what Trump got going on as long as he can continue to get their money flowing in their pockets. And you remain poor, Trump gonna be in office. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's the evil of this kingdom. They don't care about what we got going on in our neighborhoods. You understand? They don't care that we out here dying in the streets.
Right.
You understand? They just trying to make sure that their kids is good for generations. You understand? But that's what this school is here for. So you can build yourself with this truth and your identity for generations.
Real talk. What you saying so heavy. If you even go down, right? You go down in the chapter, verse 16, exactly what we was just saying. Says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. This is what he did. This is what he do constantly to this day. You understand? He wants to play like he your friend, like he your buddy. I see all people out there, they trying to have, oppressive friends and this, that, and the other. On the job is a little different. I mean, if you being cordial, but even that, I ain't even messing around with all that. It's a high about, cordial. You know what I mean? It's a workspace. But And I be saying y'all, man, y'all be twirling, swirling all again with the 12. You know what I mean? We can't be doing all that. We can't, you know what I mean, have marriages with these nations at all either. I hope I don't gotta show you that, because you know I can show you. I mean, I'm gonna go right here and do the running. Let me show you real quick.
So you can read that verse one more time, because that is talking about what Trump got going on. You're trying to persuade our people that he's
got Ecclesiasticus 12 and 16.
That's the one you want.
That was it right there. Yeah, we can finish that up. I was just trying to, you know what I mean. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
Right.
See, Trump don't care about your people. You understand? Trump is too busy trying to take over lands, steal oil, you understand? And keep and continue to have his cartel flourish. You understand? Like, he just saying, like, if you roll with me, you gonna get money. But if you don't roll with Trump, he don't give a damn about you. He never did. You understand? None of these politicians ever cared about, your people or our people. None of the Democrats, Republicans, they never did. You understand? That's all I want to say. Like, Trump is definitely, and all these politicians, this is speaking about all them politicians, they speak real sweetly. They promise us a lot for our community.
And with this show, we might have to speak up. It's going to pick up like that.
Yeah, they promise us a lot for our communities. You understand? They promise us that they'll change the crime rate, they'll change the poverty, they'll give us more jobs and everything. And then they trying to say we got to kick out our brothers because they're taking our jobs. You understand? So it's like they try to talk very sweet so they can get you to vote, to get them in a position of power to make their colleagues more richer. You understand? So that's all.
I know it's more on that though.
He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
He's not going to be satisfied with blood. That is exactly our oppressors, is it not?
Right.
He's not satisfied with blood. He done committed a whole genocide already.
Right.
With the Native American Indians.
They don't care.
99 million Negroes in the transatlantic slave trade.
Right.
You understand how much blood you need to spill? They got to spill their own blood too, huh? The Amalek, and if y'all don't know Amalek in the Bible, the small hats today, you understand, was in the underground tunnels in Brooklyn with bloody bed sheets. You know what I mean? Bloody baby car seats.
Right.
You understand? Bloody mattresses. You understand? And this is their nature. They over there. I know, not that I give a damn about the Palestinians or any of them over there, but they are genociding them over there like something crazy.
They doing a killing right now on the news. You can see right on the news right now. You understand? Yep. The brink of World War III. They bombing right now. You understand? It's a lot of business things going on that, of course, us poor people, we ain't even paying attention to. We just trying to pay our light bill and our rent bill. But they really handling things on that. They the real gangsters. You understand what I'm saying? They really out here taking things over, taking land and killing innocent people. They really doing that. You understand? So he would not be satisfied with blood. Is definitely talking about the ones who's in charge of America. You know
That's a fact. That's a fact. You know, I mean, they gotta spill babies' blood. They gotta chop up and eat babies. You understand? They was gonna keep. Well, not that they stopped. They ain't stopped. I don't think they stopped. They allegedly still doing that. You know what I mean? Like, they was unaliving. He was down with Epstein. They best friends. Donald Trump. You understand? And this is what you oppressors voted in the office.
Right.
You understand? Enjoy. And
they don't care that you unaliving your kids. Planned Parenthood is still pushed on our community.
That too.
They do not care that we are unaliving our babies.
That too.
They push that. They need us to unalive our babies. They do not want us to reproduce. They do not want us to live long. You understand? Like, they don't give a damn. But the Commander General YAHANNA said it was like half of our population since the 70s.
It was something crazy like that. It was great.
44 million or something like that.
400,000 something. I gotta go back and check.
I think it was okay. So half of the population of the Black people in America, is being killed by the Planned Parenthood since 1970. by abortions. You understand? They don't give a damn that we killing each other. They don't give a damn that we killing our young.
Mhm.
In Jersey, I believe it's still third trimester abortions. I believe it's still third trimester abortions allowed in Jersey. You understand? How could you be in position of power and allow your people to make a decision to do that?
That's why we should also give a special thanks to Martin Luther King. You understand? Thank him for everything that we have today. His dream that was so special that he thought he had to give it to us. And you know what I mean? So we could enjoy his dream. Nigga, what if I don't like your dream, nigga? I don't like your dream.
Right.
I don't want to, you know what I mean, engage in your dreams and all that. Keep your dreams to yourself. And even then, he admitted that it was a nightmare in the end. He was leaving his people into a burning house.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
He knew this at the end, but he does not care about us. He was down with the eugenics program, which you was just talking about, the abortion clinics. He was down with the eugenics program, and he was that face. What was that broad, that stinking wench? Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger, it was put in place. They needed an ambassador of Black people to talk their language to us. So we won't look at it as, oh, it's an attack coming from these oppressors. We need an ambassador to speak up for us, to speak our message to them. Who they got? Martin Luther King.
Right.
It was a decades-long, multi-decade long plan to have him, you know what I mean, set us up like that.
Yeah, Martin Luther King destroyed us, man. You understand? Martin Luther King, his dream gave them power over our communities and our environment that we live in today. You understand? They made us more docile with Martin Luther King's dream. You understand?
Facts.
Why do we need another nation to police our neighborhoods? Why do we need another nation to tell us what to eat, to tell us how to live? Why do we need another nation? Why do we want to serve their gods? You understand? Like, the Bible has your power, your wisdom inside of it. You understand? The I.S.U.P.K since 1969 is here trying to tell you, you know, this is free knowledge. You understand? You don't got to pay for this. You know what I'm saying? We don't get money for this. Like, we put our time and effort into studying so you could know and so we can know how to live righteously and serve the Lord the right way. You understand? Because when you read in the scriptures talking about love not the world, the Christian church can't break that down to you. You understand? Because they love this society. You know, they push the agenda of these politicians talking about love everybody equally, man. The Lord hates. And the Lord hates our enemies. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to say.
Damn right. And you know what? Why the hell would we have to join these nations when we already had PhD students, you know what I mean, PhD graduates, you know what I mean, in the Black community?
Our own businesses, our own schools.
Right.
We had our own businesses, our own schools.
Yeah.
Why did we have to join this nation?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? In the 70s, the fathers was in the household. The 60s and the 70s, you had full households.
Yeah.
You understand? The women didn't have to worry about the fathers leaving. You understand? But then we go ahead and we allow that curse. We allow that curse. That's what the oppressor is to our people, a curse to our people, man. We allow them to go ahead and step their foot into our households. You understand? And that's what the Lord's trying to go ahead and fight against.
Because we definitely didn't need these oppressors. We definitely didn't need Chinese cooking for us. We definitely didn't need Arabs cooking fried chicken for us. We definitely didn't need any of that.
Right.
We knew how to do all that. We had Harlem Renaissance. We had all that.
Right.
You understand? We had Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had all the what's the one in New York? New York.
The park is at
yes.
now. Damn, I forget the name.
Oh man, it's right there on my tongue, man. But
they flooded us out.
Yes.
And made a park.
Yes.
Nobody knows about it. You understand? You have to read books that's not really advertised, for our people to read, to learn that. What's the name of that park again? Is it Matt? It's in New York, that park. What's the name of that park?
I'm about to get it. Go ahead.
But we had to learn that used to be a Black community, man. You understand? They did not want it to be a black community no more, and they turned it into a famous park today. That a lot of tourists come and walk through. They shot movies in it. You understand? They turned it into a famous park today. You understand?
Seneca Village.
Seneca Village. You understand? Look up Seneca Village. You understand? Fact check me and Mathumya, man, because you know you will be wise to go ahead and not just believe everything we say. You understand? Fact check us. Like we want y'all to go ahead and do further research on the history of your people. You understand? Because they do not teach us who we are in the public schools. They do not teach us who we are in the colleges. You understand? They only teaching us how to be their servants and their slaves in this society that we live in.
I want to get a precept, Lamentations 4:17. You know what I mean? 4:17. Because this is what is going on with us. That brother didn't have to die, didn't have to get unalive by that Moabite, by that Chinese man. That didn't have to happen, but weaklings and sellouts like Martin Luther King allowed this to happen. You understand? Your preachers, your leaders, your Christian pastor, the so-called leaders of this black community, you understand, are allowing these people to come in and do, and do whatever they want with us. Right. You know what I mean? Eat us alive. Go ahead when you got it.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
Our eyes have failed for vain help. Who's that vain help? Go ahead.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
You know what I mean? The vain help is that nation that cannot save you. This nation that we under right now ain't never saved. They ain't never did nothing good for us, right or wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? We ain't do nothing but serve out 400 years of slavery here.
Right.
You understand? We ain't did nothing but go through the Jim Crow era.
Right.
You understand? We still getting hanged from trees today in 2026. Ain't right or wrong.
Right.
You understand?
They still got sundown towns.
Still got sundown towns.
Right.
They about to make it. They about to. Commander YAHANNA brought it. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Commander YAHANNA.
Right.
Where he You know what I'm saying? Where he brought out how they trying to bring out where it's a sundown town, but not quite. So look, instead of calling it a sundown town, it's a anytime town. Like it's a oppressive town. You can't go in there at all. They're gonna unalive you while the sun is out. Wow. You understand? They trying to bring that out. You know what I mean? This place right here is a vain help, a nation that could never save us, which is also why it's so asinine to go ahead and trust in this nation and vote for somebody that hates you.
And speaking on them sundown towns, you know, I used to travel for the old slave I used to have. Mm-hmm. I went out to Lake Oswego. What is that? Lake Oswego, Oregon. The locals, you know, like the contractors I was working with, they kept telling me, "Yo, be careful out here." You know, XYZ, be careful out here. I asked him why. He said, "Well, the locals out here, you know, they call this, you know, it's Lake Oswego, but they call it Lake No Negro."
Mm.
You know,
they probably can't hear you.
They call it Lake No Negro out in Lake Oswego. Look that up. You understand? And I know it's true. So the contractor I was working with, he said, "Be careful out here." They call it Lake No Negro. And then I went to the bar after work. All right, had me a little.
You went to the bar afterwards.
Yeah. And then even the bartender told me after I paid my check or whatever. He said, "Hey, be careful out here. You know, the cops probably, you know, pull you over or whatever." He said, "You know, they call this Lake No Negro." And I was just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? And I was amazed. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I didn't really know if the sundown towns were really kind of active these days still, but it's really still active. I just want to bring that up, but it's still out here.
Who that nigga on that neck? They not, you know what I mean? This is how they do. It's more on that precept.
It's verse 18. It says, "They hunt our steps."
They what?
They hunt our steps.
They do what?
They hunt our steps.
They hunt our steps. Verbatim. That Chinese man that chased down that brother.
Right.
Unalived him. Mm-hmm. You understand? How they just did that to that brother. You know what I mean? They unalive all of our brothers. You know what I mean? Freddie Gray. You understand? Trayvon Martin. George Floyd. You understand? We ain't did nothing. We ain't did nothing but work and slave in all your gutter jobs here that you have here in America. We be all your janitors. We go ahead, you know what I mean, and work in your fast food restaurants. We make your multi-million-dollar franchises thrive and, you know what I mean, prosper because we are willing slaves here. We are the slaves here working and making this country run. You understand? Without blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, what do you have? You got nothing. You understand? Without us, without the Latinos, your salads is gonna be dirty. You probably gonna end up sick and drop. You know what I mean? Get unalive because you eating contaminated. You know what I'm saying? Vegetation. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You go ahead and get rid of the Negroes. You understand? Who's gonna run your multi? You know what I mean? Multi-million-dollar thriving companies. You understand? A lot of us are ambassadors to these companies. You understand? A lot of people, you know what I mean? If we just left America alone, this place would be like Georgia, Russia.
Right. You think they're going to watch the NFL? You think they're going to watch the NBA? They ain't going to watch these. They ain't going to watch them games no more.
Huh?
You understand? We just really just left their world alone and focused on our people, building our nation.
Right.
You understand? Their world will crumble. They need us. They make money off of us. Right? That's all I want to say.
And when Commander YAHANNA was so, you know what I mean, was so heavy on what he was saying about when he was responding to that devil Huckleberry, you understand? When he was saying we can't build a nation for our own. We can't build nothing. You think you're going to build a effing utopia? Yeah, that's what we're going to do because we did it in the past. We're more, you know what I'm saying, able. We're more able to do it. You understand? We're smarter than these devils. You know what I mean? It's all sisters that's graduating out of college with PhDs, with bachelor's degrees, master degrees. Those are a lot of sisters, Black and Hispanic women, graduating out of college, more than anybody else, more than the white male. You understand? We have something special and you don't. We can do this. We can do this. I don't know about you. At the other hand, you know what I mean? If they didn't have this place right here, they would be eating soup or blood meat. Right. You know what I'm saying? Out of their grandfather's skulls. Right. You understand? That's what they would be doing.
Just like
they don't understand that. Go ahead. What you saying?
Just like their forefathers. That's where they come from.
Facts.
They come from doing that stuff. You understand? Yeah. Watching us, like they mimic everything we do. They want to be like us.
Come on.
You understand?
Come on.
It don't matter what walk of, like, it could be a Chinese man. It could be an East Indian man. I just seen, I think last year, I just started seeing videos of trap music in East India.
Oh man. I just seen this year. It's a lot.
Yo, I'm like, this is crazy, man. Like our people, we shine at everything we do. Like even when we are at our lowest, imagine how it would be in the Lord's kingdom.
Right.
Imagine how it could be, man.
Right.
You understand? At our lowest, everybody's trying to be like us. You know, they mimic everything we do. It's a lot.
That's a fact. You know what I mean? We the best at everything. You understand? We wouldn't be listening to rap music. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have the blues. We wouldn't have anything. You understand? But these are all music genres based off our struggle. You understand? But imagine if we had a kingdom. You understand? Like Commander YAHANNA also broke this down over the weekend on how, you know what I mean, in Baltimore, on how if we wasn't, all right, so we'll break it down like this. Like we're living under temptation right now. Right. We're living under temptation. What that mean is we in a nation in a captivity that pushes iniquity, that pushes sinful lifestyles, that pushes everything evil, right? And we're tempted all the day long to do something evil. Right. It's on commercials, it's on the ads on your phone, the commercial ads on your phone. You understand? It's all over the place. Or try this baconator. That's old, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you know, they advertising all these seafood boils and all that to sisters and all that. They advertising these holidays, precious holidays. They about to promote Christmas 5 months early.
Right.
Watch that. Watch. You understand?
So Charles said, "We the best, but we the best, but last place in everything. It's time to humble ourselves."
Damn right.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? The brother, right? I'm gonna put that on the screen.
I got a precept for that, man. This is a precept for you, brother. If you don't have it, this is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. We're gonna read down to verse 7. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil." You understand? Right. So trust in the Lord with all thine heart. What you just said was we need to start humbling ourselves. That heart, whenever you read in the scriptures, when it says heart, it's talking about your mind. You understand? So trust in the Lord with all your mind. Like learning these scriptures, meditating on these scriptures, meditating on the wisdom and everything that we breaking down to you in class.
Or like how Ezekiel said, eat the scroll.
Eat the
Understand?
scroll.
Meaning digest these precepts, digest these scriptures that you're reading. You learn it from the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? And go ahead. That was
like just allowing this wisdom to process over time. You understand? Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not to thine own understanding. People be thinking that they know God. You understand? Without even reading the Bible. You understand? They'll say, "I love God." Up and down, got the cross on and everything, but do not know nothing about Proverbs. Do not know nothing about Solomon. Do not know nothing about Christ. You understand? How you over here? You got the cross. They be having the cross on. Doing the whole.
I was about to say.
Yeah, doing the whole thing. You understand?
I was just about to say. But where you went? So what's special about you wearing a Christian cross?
Right.
Well, so you more holy. So you holier than thou. You know what I mean? So you serve God.
Right.
You love God. You wear that Christian cross. Mm-hmm. Christ died on that cross. Right. You understand? If my brother or my uncle or my father or anybody, Salaki, God, Lord forbid, was unalive, or anybody else family member was unalive by the gun, you understand? Am I gonna wear a medallion, a pistol medallion on it? Right. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Because you know what I'm saying, that's dishonorable, and that's dishonorable when you wear that Christian cross. Understand? Go ahead. You want to bring some more?
Yeah, like in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thy own eyes. You understand? That's to everyone. Be not wise in your own eyes. You understand? Stop going through this life thinking you know it all.
Right.
And that's what we do. We go through this life thinking we know it all out of our own experiences, right?
Right.
But if you read in these scriptures, it says the things that were written aforetime was written for our learning.
That's
we don't have to go through a lot of what we go through. You understand? We read through these scriptures and learn about what it was for our people when they went against the Lord. Man, that's your sign right there and your wisdom right there to not go against the Lord. You understand? Let's change the path. Let's let the Lord direct your path. You understand? Like we could be on top of these nations.
Yeah, right.
You know, these nations, they can't stop us, man. Even at the bottom, we still shine over these people. You understand? And that's what the UPK is trying to bring out.
And that's a fact. The heavy thing you brought out was, you know what I mean, the things written aforetime was for our learning, written for our learning. Right. Paraphrasing. You understand? That goes to show you. Where was that spoken about? Romans, right? Yeah. The New Testament, Christians, is in the New Testament. And it's talking about what? Speaking about the Old Testament. Go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 15, verse 4.
New Testament, Christians, go ahead.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
All the things that was written aforetime, meaning in the Old Testament, meaning the law that Moses gave us, talking about how we can't eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster, how we can't celebrate birthdays, how we can't, honor days that's not of the Lord, which is your Christmas, which is your Thanksgiving, which is all that stuff, man, which is all that, you know what I mean? And now we doing it, and now you're not, you know what I mean? You're not doing what the Lord says. You're being sinful. Where's the other precept on how you know you love the Lord? 1 John, right? 1 John 3 and 4. 1 John 5 and 3. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We got it, man, because you know what I mean, today's society is all the way backwards. Right. If you got it, go ahead.
I got this one. I got 1 John 2 and 4.
That's good.
He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
Damn right.
You understand? That's the New Testament. You understand? The Christian pastors in these churches be teaching that we can't keep the law, or they teach that the law is done away with. This right here is a cut for them. You understand? It says, he that said, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. Verse 5, but whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him. You understand? We got to keep these commandments, man. You understand? What commandments can't we keep? Did you already ask that?
Shit, go ahead, break it down.
What commandments can't we keep? You understand? No. Christ said, be therefore perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. A lot of people be saying that nobody be perfect, right? You know what I'm saying? That's New Testament, though. Christ said, be therefore perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. You understand? Why is Christ saying be perfect?
Right.
Why is Christ saying be perfect and the world saying nobody can be perfect? What's going on? Where's the contradiction? That's contradiction, right? That's coming from the knowledge of the Christian church. You understand? Which is not really good knowledge. It's leading your people astray. If you telling your kids, because I'm a father, my brother here is a father, I'm not going to tell my son he can't be perfect. That's setting him up for failure. See, this is why our people need to be above on this earth. You understand? Because when the wicked is in rule, a lot of people mourn. You understand? For them to even allow a philosophy to be pushed in the land that says that no one could be perfect, and the scripture is saying something totally different. And Christ said we could do better things than he did.
Right.
What's going on? Why isn't your pastor telling you that? He'll tell you that the law is done away with, but he's still passing around a collection plate. Still passing around a collection plate.
Give me a 1 John 5 and 3.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Give me that. You know what I mean? Because everything you're saying is heavy, man. You know what I mean? We could be perfect. You know what I mean? We could do it like what the Christians say to love God and to, you know what I mean, follow what he say to do and all that stuff. It sounds nice, but you got to actually do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to actually do the thing. Go ahead.
It's the book of 1 John chapter 5 verse 3. For this is the love of God.
Right.
That we keep his commandments.
That we do what?
That we keep his commandments.
One more time.
That we keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments. You got to keep his commandments. I just broke it down, right? You know what I mean? You can't celebrate no holidays. Right. You know what I mean? No precious holidays. You can't do that. You understand? You can't love your enemies. You understand? You can't do that. What's another? Here's another one, Christians, that I was gonna bring out earlier. There's another one. Not gonna like, especially NFL players. And they're not gonna like this, John. I'm gonna read it. You know what I mean? Deuteronomy 7. Oh yeah, Deuteronomy 7 and 3. Select. Yeah, Deuteronomy 7 and 3. And this is very important. This is very imperative for us to understand. You know what I mean? This has been plaguing us for far too long since slavery. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Neither shalt thou do what?
Make marriages with them.
With who?
With them.
Go ahead.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Meaning no interracial marriage.
Right.
You cannot sleep, a black man cannot sleep with a white girl. You understand? According to this Bible, according to this precept, you understand? Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indian men are supposed to be with Black, Hispanic, and Native American women. Right. You understand? We are one nation. We got to stay together. We cannot go and marry outside of our race. Go ahead. You want to say something?
The Lord don't change. It's another scripture. Let me see if I can get it right here. Let me see.
I mean, yeah, while you're getting that, you know what I'm saying? It's imperative that we understand the Most High does not want us to, you know what I mean, fall off. Right. Don't want us to, you got it. Go ahead.
Malachi chapter 3, verse 6. It says, for I am the Lord, I change not. And that, I understand that Malachi is the book right before, you know, the New Testament for y'all Christians. You understand? It says, "For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed." You understand? The Lord does not change. So, what Muthamiya was bringing out about the whole interracial marriages and everything, the Lord has not changed his mind on that. You understand? That is still in effect to this day. You understand? You see them heavens and you see the ground you're walking on, the law is still in effect.
And what's so heavy about that precept you brought up? You know what I mean? The Lord doesn't change. Can you read that one more time, brother?
For I am the Lord, I change not.
The Lord, he said, I change not. You understand? What's the deal that he made with us? The deal that he made with us, Christ got unalive. We got unalive on the cross. You understand? And we got another chance to come back to this, you know what I mean, to get this kingdom.
Right.
You understand? And he also said what? You know what I mean? You turn to me, I mean, I'm gonna destroy your enemies.
Right.
You go ahead, you follow me, I'm gonna destroy and wipe them out. You understand? And he said, I change not. That was a deal. He don't break no damn deals, man. He don't break no deals. So once we start following the Most High, he gonna destroy Esau. He gonna destroy America, man. Like it's prophesied in the book of Revelations, prophesied in, you know what I mean, Joel, all them, yeah, Isaiah. It's prophesied all over the Bible, the end of this world, the ending of this empire that holds the children of the Lord in slavery. Understand? This place is not going to stand for long. It's not going to stand forever. Every other kingdom has fallen. Every other nation has fallen before. The big superpower before America was what? Greco-Roman, the Romans. You understand? Then before them, the Greeks. You know what I mean? And before them, Babylon. You understand? Ancient Egypt, going all the way back to ancient Egypt. You understand? You know how many empires I just named? How many of those was like I can count on one hand, right? I mean, all them nations rose into power, became damn near invincible to the eye of a regular man. But then they fall. That's like they fell. Then they fell because the Lord is not with them. The Lord is not with them, and he's with us. He's with the Israelites. He's with blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Go ahead.
Just a precept, just to clarify that the Lord chose a family out of all the families on the earth. You understand? Piggybacking off of Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Amos chapter 3, verse 1, it says, "Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying," verse 2, "You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities."
Right. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, if we decide to disobey, that's like any father. That's like any good father. If your child does something you don't tell him, like you tell him not to do, you go ahead and go outside. When you tell him, nah, stay inside. Go ahead and tell him to take the trash out. He ain't do it. You understand? He's disobeying you. You're going to punish your child. You understand? The Lord did the same with us. He said, man, I will do what? What he said?
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Therefore,
I will punish you for all your iniquities.
He's going to punish us for our iniquities. So, you know what I mean? We paying for ours, right? We paying for what we did. Imagine what he's going to do to your slave master.
Right.
Imagine what he's going to do to him when it's time for his judgment. And we didn't call hell. We call it hell, brother. You understand? We caught it. We still catching it today.
Right.
You understand? When it's our time is up. Our time for slavery is up. But when it comes to the time where, you know what I'm saying, it's really going to turn, the table's really going to turn. You know what I mean? Imagine what he's going to do to your slave master. Imagine what he's going to do to him. We the Lord's children.
Right.
And we got destroyed. We got wiped out damn near. You understand? Imagine what's going to happen to him. Imagine what's going to happen to the one that, you know what I mean, been plaguing us with all types of, you know what I mean, evil for generations and generations. You know, you understand? So with that, Israel, we got to understand, we got to come back together. Where do you come back together at? In the ISUPK. You know what I mean? The Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. You got something you want to bring up before I wrap it? You know what I mean? It's too wild then. You know what I mean? We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander during YAHANNA. We've been teaching the truth about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You know what I mean? That we're God's chosen people according to the Bible, and that our oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of.
Right.
You understand? I'm going to get in Spanish. I got to. I mean, I'm practicing my Spanish, man. Español, man. Soy el oficial matomia de la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal, una organización que comenzó en la calle 125 en Harlem, Nueva York, bajo el mando del general YAHANNA. Enseñamos que los negros y los hispanos y los nativos americanos son familia y son el pueblo elegido de Dios, según la Biblia. All right, so with that, man, you know, I mean, we're gonna see y'all next week. Tuesday, we do this every Tuesday at the UN Library. Brothers is welcome to come to class in person. We do not bite. You understand? Y'all come to class and learn this truth, learn this brotherhood we have here, because we do this all for the brothers, you know what I mean, that need it. The brothers that are starving for food, for thought. You understand? Who's starving for that? You know what I mean? We do this for brothers like that. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? You feel like you are interested, man. You want to know more about it. You want to ask questions. You want to see what this really about, and you want to test it out in person. You come on through, man. Hit us up, man. You in library every Tuesday, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, around that time anyway. You understand? And we'll be here. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.